Nana Amma had always dreamed of love, but what she found was far darker than she could ever imagine. Nana Amma was the kind of woman people described as radiant and ambitious. At 27, she had carved out a respectable career as a nurse in Accra, working long shifts with a compassion that touched everyone she met. But despite her accomplishments, she often felt a hollowness in her life, a yearning for a connection that went beyond the casual friendships and fleeting romances she'd known. It was at a charity gala that she first met Kojo. Handsome, impeccably dressed, with a smile that seemed to know her before she knew herself, he approached her with a confidence that made her heart flutter. For reasons she couldn't explain, she felt instantly drawn to him, as if the universe had quietly conspired to bring them together. Kojo seemed perfect in every way, charming, attentive, and intelligent. He asked questions that made her feel understood, laughed at her jokes without hesitation, and never once made her feel small or invisible. By the end of the night, she knew she wanted to see him again, and he seemed to feel the same. They began dating, and their courtship was nothing short of magical. Flowers appeared at her door for no reason, romantic notes tucked into her bag, and whispered promises of love that made her feel like a queen. Nana Amma allowed herself to believe in a love story she had only ever read about in books. 3 months later, Kojo proposed under a setting sun on Labadi Beach. The golden sky mirrored the warmth in his eyes, and for a moment, the world seemed to stop. She said yes, overwhelmed by emotion, unaware that this happily ever after was already teetering on the edge of darkness. Their wedding was a grand affair. Friends and family showered them with congratulations, smiles, and blessings. But behind Kojo's warm smile, there was a shadow, subtle yet undeniable. Nana Amma noticed it once or twice, a flicker of something in his eyes that disappeared when she looked closer, but she dismissed it, convincing herself it was nothing. Life after marriage started smoothly. Kojo moved into her apartment, and they settled into a cozy routine. But small things began to disturb her peace. Whispers she couldn't trace, faint scents of incense, and shadows that seemed to move independently of any light source. Nana Amma tried to ignore them, blaming exhaustion or imagination. One night, while searching for a misplaced pair of earrings in Kojo's old family house, Nana Amma stumbled upon a hidden drawer in the wardrobe. Inside lay a leather-bound journal. The pages were filled with strange symbols, cryptic writings, and instructions she couldn't understand. Her heart thudded as she realized she might have uncovered something sinister. Flipping to the last entry, she froze. Written in careful, deliberate handwriting were the words, "The bride's heart shall grant prosperity to the family. The ceremony must be performed before the moon wanes." Nana Amma's blood ran cold. Her dream man, the love she had trusted, was tied to a family that planned to sacrifice her. Fear became a constant companion. She watched Kojo closely, noting the subtle signs, his insistence on secrecy, the strange disappearances of family members at odd hours, the ceremonial objects hidden in plain sight. Each observation confirmed her worst suspicions. When she confronted Kojo, hoping for denial or explanation, he smiled, but it was no longer the warm, loving smile she had known. His eyes hardened. "Amma, there are things you don't understand about my family. Things that protect us, keep us strong. You must trust me." But trust felt like a luxury she could no longer afford. Nights became unbearable. Every creak of the house, every whisper in the dark, made her heart race. She began documenting everything, the chants, the shadows, the unexplainable rituals. She realized that survival depended on knowledge, on understanding the danger before it was too late. Weeks passed, and Kojo's family began pressing her subtly, inviting her to join rituals, testing her compliance. Each request felt more urgent, more threatening. Her fear grew into a desperate need to act before the night of the ceremony arrived. Nana Amma devised a plan. She would feign submission while secretly gathering evidence. Hidden cameras, recordings of conversations, and careful notes became her shield. Every smile, every agreement she gave to the family was a lie designed to buy her time. One stormy evening, Kojo revealed that the ceremony was set for the next full moon. Her heart sank. She had only days to escape, to expose the family, and to save her life. Panic clawed at her chest, but determination pushed her forward. She could not let fear paralyze her. The night of the ritual arrived. The family gathered in the forest near an ancient shrine, candles flickering ominously in the darkness. The air was thick with incense, and chanting filled the night, reverberating through the trees. Nana Amma hid behind a tree, recording everything, her hands trembling, her mind racing. Kojo approached her at one point, his eyes searching. "Amma, you can still choose to accept this," he said softly. But she had seen the truth too clearly. The man she loved was now a stranger, a pawn of his family's dark ambitions. She shook her head, and he turned away, disappointment masked by a mask of control. With precise timing, she ran toward the authorities she had secretly contacted, shouting into the night. The police arrived just as the family prepared to begin the final part of the ritual. Chaos erupted, chanting turned into screams, and the family's centuries-old secret was exposed in full. Kojo was arrested along with his relatives. Nana Amma stood in the cold forest, breathing heavily, realizing she had survived by her courage, wit, and instinct. Her heart still ached, not only for the love she had lost, but for the betrayal she had endured. Returning home, Nana Amma resumed her work as a nurse, though she was forever changed. She carried no hatred, only wisdom. She understood now that love, while powerful, could not protect against deception and malice. Vigilance, courage, and self-preservation were just as vital. Years later, Nana Amma shared her story quietly to warn others. Love is precious, yes, but it must coexist with awareness. Blind trust can be deadly, and sometimes survival requires one to walk away from the very dream that once seemed perfect. She often looked at her reflection and smiled, not with naive joy, but with quiet resilience. She had faced darkness, survived it, and emerged stronger. The lesson lingered. Never surrender your heart entirely, for sometimes the truest love is the love you give yourself. Lesson: true love must be tempered with vigilance. Blind trust can be fatal. Courage, intelligence, and intuition are just as vital as affection in navigating life and relationships.